Live. All right, Bang Bang, welcome to the Mid Show, presented by Miller Lite. It's easy to feel nostalgic in the summertime, especially when you got a beer in your hand, but not just any beer. The Miller Lite is the beer with 96 calories and tastes like beer and is perfectly brewed for bonfire stories and memories in the making. Whether you're spending long afternoons behind the grill or waiting out a rainstorm at your favorite bar or telling old stories to the soundtrack of a crackling bonfire, live those summer moments with Miller Lite, because when it's summertime, it tastes like Miller time. Miller time is when you and your friends can get together to enjoy the simple things in life. Crack open a white can and let the great taste of Miller Lite hit your taste buds so hard you feel it in your heart. We know all about that, don't we, fellas?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yesterday, Cubs game, walk over, find a bar on Clark Street. First thing you order, Miller Lite. That's how you kick the night off. And this is the last month of summer, so you better be getting those Miller Lites now.
Yeah, September's a little steamy. You could have some
summertime,
Miller time in September a little bit.
Can I tell you something, though?
Yeah.
I'm ready for it, that little crisp fall air.
Then it's fall Miller time.
Yeah. Get those cases.
Regardless, make unforgettable summer memories with Miller Lite. Get Miller Lites delivered right to your door when you visit MillerLites.com/redline. Or you can find it anywhere that sells beer. Just make sure you celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. All right. We are back. Rudy has joined us. Rudy, you're all moved in.
No, not even close.
You know what? Can I be honest with you? You said something. We had a revelation in the studio probably like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
With tech guy Stefan.
Yeah.
And I like it. It makes sense, but about the moving truck, you're like, oh, I didn't realize you could do that. So kind of you could get into that.
Yeah. No. So I got a moving company. They did a great job, so I'm not going to disparage them. But I wish I had done it differently, because I got a moving company, and I had to pack everything up, and then they take it and they group it together with a bunch of other like moves that are going across the country. So it's not like a straight shot. Basically, like the status quo is, and this was the same for Kate, the delivery day is 1 to 11 days, and they can't really tell you, they can't give you like real time live updates. You don't know when it's going to show up. And I was like, fuck, I kind of wish I had just gotten a U-Haul, but then how do you like load it in there? Like, can you get a U-Haul? And then Stefan was like, yeah, you can just like hire movers. That's like how everyone has ever done it.
And it's like,
I had no clue.
Whoops. Yeah.
I had no clue.
This is the first time you've ever moved with like belongings? Because I feel like this is your first job after college.
Yeah, well, I mean, my moves have been super haphazard. Like when I first moved to New York, I just was couch surfing. I was homeless.
Yeah.
So I just had my hockey bag and then like a suitcase, and I was couch surfing. And then I stayed in Snapchat Steve's room for a while because he was moving out, but I didn't have a bed or anything. And then I moved in with 3 girls I found on Craigslist.
How was that?
Awesome.
Okay.
I took a risk on that because I was like, no one wants to do the Craigslist thing. You're scared that you have no idea. It's like a huge leap of faith. But I found 3 girls, and I was like, oh, that's like a way bigger leap for them to let a dude in.
Totally.
So I put the onus on them, and you won't believe this, small world. It was just crazy. I get there, and the 3 girls all played college hockey at Cornell and knew all my Canadian roommates.
Weird.
Yeah, so it was perfect. But I had like a AC unit at that time, my suitcase, my hockey bag, and then I got this super shitty mattress that I was so shitty I was able to roll it up, and then I used hockey laces to tie it up, and I was like, I think I could fit this all in an Uber, but I'm not totally sure. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get an Uber and a Lyft at the same time. And then I'm going to tell the first guy, be like, dude, like,
follow this second
please
guy.
just like take this there. And the first guy got there, and I was just hoping that the one that I wasn't in with all my shit was going to get there. But the first guy showed up, and he was so nice. He was like, dude, we got this. We can fit all of it. And we just packed everything in there. And then I just didn't have very much shit. And then so whenever I moved, I would just get dudes, like I would hire dudes on the internet that just like had a van. And then I lived with Grinnell, so he like kind of handled the move. So I've never really done it. Like I didn't know how it worked.
How long did you live with Grinnell?
2 years.
Okay.
We had 2 apartments, 2 years. It was cool. He was a good roomie.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last 2 years, I had my own place in Brooklyn. So
your shit's on its
wait,
way.
so how long have you been full-time at Barcelona?
Full-time, like only 4 years, but I've been in New York for 5, which is fucking crazy.
That's a quick 5 years.
So fast. Yeah. It goes by. I actually hate thinking about it because I feel old.
I don't want to talk.
But dude, like, it's like COVID fucked everything up.
Yeah.
Mentally, because I was like, oh, I came out to New York and right after I graduated in 2018. And 2018 seems like recent history. It's not.
No. I mean, COVID's going to turn 4 soon.
Which is sickening. But I've realized like the older you get, the faster it goes, and you just can't think about it.
Yeah.
You want to know why that is?
Why?
I actually heard this a long time ago, and it always kind of freaked
Dude,
me
your
out.
nose. I'm sorry to interrupt. Your nose is cleaned up so fast.
It looks
It
good.
wasn't cut. I think what it was I was sweating my ass off. It was like 100 degrees. You were here, right?
No,
Okay,
I saw
well,
a clip
last
of a clip of it, and it looked like you nose dive
I think
off
a
of
lot
Harley
of
Davidson.
a lot of it was just like sweat mixed in with the blood. But it wasn't like it was better 2 days later. But
It wasn't cut, you said?
it wasn't like
It was just sweaty.
It was scratched more than cut.
Yeah.
So like as soon as I took one shower on Saturday, I just like exfoliated my face and it was
It was like a
gone.
billion micro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the way to.
It was filled with. You had a Velcro nose.
for a second. Yeah.
You could have attached it to your nose.
No, it does look good though, Dave. Oh, because people watching.
It was like an intense exfoliation.
I think you got work done, dude. That is not natural healing.
Insane recovery.
No, I did.
Yeah.
That's like how Spider-Man heals. It's like 2 days.
Dave, tell them about how you have more platelets than most people.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are probably confused too because they watched the draft yesterday, and we recorded the draft on Friday, so that was 2 days after.
Oh, yeah,
not
2
even. It
days,
was
yeah.
like 30 hours.
The power went out Thursday, which we got to get to as well. Did you hear about this?
No,
Our power went out Thursday. Do you know why it went out, Rudy?
I have no storm.
Our finance people forgot to pay the bills.
I would
Okay.
love to know what that bill was.
That's crazy.
It had to been thousands and thousands because they don't.
Oh,
just
I don't
shut-
think it's thousands.
Oh,
this
yeah.
place?
To run this place is thousands and thousands.
For how many bills they're probably backed up on, like we talked about, they're not gonna send you. They're not gonna shut it off for one bill. That's delinquent.
You have to be a
months.
delinquent.
That's what I'm saying,
It's
yeah.
more about the length of time. Like I think you can
So-
owe them like $100, and if you haven't paid it in 6 months, then they can shut
They'll
it
still
off.
shut you down.
That
Yeah.
sounds like an auto pay
But
mix up.
this,
Yeah,
so
how are we not
I'm
on
saying
auto
my electric bill. Granted, I fucking crank the heat or the AC is about $300 a month, which is off the reservation crazy. Yeah,
you run
it's
hot.
absurd.
You run hot.
I'm guessing this place is like $4, so a couple grand.
Maybe.
I
yeah.
never look at my like
4
utility
or
bill.
5.
I
No,
just,
auto
it is what
debit.
it is. What it is.
Mine was like 109 last month. For
That was 200.
I don't know.
But Dave, I sorry I interrupted you, Dave. What were you saying about remembering shit or like time
Oh,
going by
so-
fast?
Time.
So say you're 10 years old.
Yeah.
All right, 1 year is 1/10 of your life.
Uh huh.
So it seems like it's 1/10 of your life.
Right.
If I'm 34 now.
Yeah.
1 year is 1/34 of my life. That's way shorter. You know,
Fractions.
it's a fraction.
Uh-huh.
So it makes sense to me.
I
you
do
know?
remember being a kid and being like 8, and at one point I was like had this moment of deep thought, and I was like, "Damn, dude, this year is taking fucking forever, dude. Years are so long. This sucks." And now I really miss that feeling.
Yeah. I have like the opposite now, where it's like I can think back to being like 24, and it doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
Yeah.
And then it's like the same amount of time I'm going to be 50.
I mean, it is hard too because
Agreed.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. I
That
hate
fucking sucks.
I
it
hate
is
that.
hard as well because I mean, you living here, you'll see, and I mean, I think Danny and White Sox Dave will attest to this. Chief probably will not, but you basically just like can't wait for the winter days to fly by. So like you pray for
Summer.
fast
For
months.
better times?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like Game of Thrones, where like once that winter comes, you're just praying on
Yes.
better
You
days.
just hunker.
Yes.
Was it a hard decision for you to move here, or were you ready to get out of New York?
At first, I was really not ready to leave New York, and then
And you're like, I can't live with Grinnell again.
and
so I
then
might as well
and
move
then
cities.
and then honestly, what changed it a lot was when I started live streaming, and then I had a studio apartment in Brooklyn. It was a nice place, but it was fucking tiny, and I started streaming, and that took up legitimately 50% of my apartment, and after a while, like you realize in New York, like the analogy I always use is Castaway. Like when you first get to New York, you don't really care about much. You can live in a shitty place as long as you're like breaking even or not losing a ton of money. You're happy because you're having a ton of fun. It's a new place. It's super exciting. And then the Castaway analogy is that like that's when you're on the beach and you're like, okay, if I can just make enough money to
made fire.
yeah, if I can just make enough money to get past the breakers,
Yeah.
I'll be chilling because I'll be breaking even. So then you get past the breakers and you can live on your own, still a tiny spot, but then you realize you're still in the middle of the ocean and you're fucked.
Then you start throwing like test dummies off to see what suicide would feel like.
Yeah, exactly. You get the mental warfare gets, and then you realize to like make it to like really comfortable level, you have to make like crazy amounts of money. So like there's you, and then I was like, you know what? I'm getting older. Like I need to have a life. And then just like my role in Chicago, like kind of became more clear. And I was like, oh, this is just a no brainer.
What is that role going to be?
I don't really know. I mean, like I guess
Became more clear.
Yeah.
What is it? I don't know.
It went from not any knowledge to like a little bit of knowledge. But I
Okay.
mean, now like I'm still technically considered a producer, but I just keep getting pulled into content. So I think that's
Yeah.
pretty much it. I'll still be directing Stool Scenes, but I won't be like
Okay.
filming and traveling the country like that. That era for me is done.
Well, because that's what I was gonna ask you, because it does feel like you're almost full-time content. You do a ton of content shit, and then you
Yeah.
started off as just like YP's guy.
Yeah, dude, I came from the fucking trenches. At
Yeah.
first, YP wouldn't even let me talk to anybody, which is honestly fair because when I came in, I wasn't even a real employee. Like Loud Sean was in charge of the hiring. We met. It's actually all because of you.
Yeah, I changed your whole life.
You changed my entire life. Seriously,
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy you if I ever get rich. I'm gonna buy you like a Tesla or something.
I think. All right, I didn't know what you were gonna say there, but I was gonna be like, I think you've done well enough for yourself now that I
But
don't think you owe
honestly,
anybody
without
anything.
you,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen. Anyways,
Yeah.
I was about to get hired by Loud Sean, but I was like wildly underqualified. I had a film minor, and I did like media shit when I played at Denver, but I was like super underqualified. And then I met Chief because he came to one of our practices, and we just started talking. And then at one point, I was like in the final three, but I probably wasn't gonna get the job because I was super underqualified. I was lying like a motherfucker on my resume, and
Been there.
then
Yeah.
YP hit me up. He like FaceTimed me literally the day I was graduating. It was like, dude, you should just come to New York. We'll figure it out. I got you. And I was like, who gives a shit? I'll go. Like I'm graduating. I knew I wasn't going to play pro hockey. And so I was like, who cares? So I went and I was like, this is not going to work out. And he just like shoved me into like we called it the sweatshop at the time. It was in the HQ2. It was like the super back room. It was actually me, Snapchat Steve, Blattman, Josh Toulahan, John Foley just crammed in this room. And I didn't talk. He was like, don't talk to anybody. Don't make waves. And that sounds sort of mean, but it was actually really good advice because he was like, you cannot go crazy. Like, don't go up to Dave and do some crazy shit. Like, you got to stay low and we'll make it work. And then I just grinded for like 3 months. And then they gave me like freelance. And then
Do you regret not taking the Crocs Kid route?
that's what his fear was, dude. That I was going to go Crocs mode.
Oh yeah, because then that's on him. It's like, who
Yeah.
the fuck brought this guy in? It's YP. And he's like, who
Yeah.
the fuck's YP?
Yeah. And at that time, like,
I would have been like, I don't know who the fuck that is.
yeah, I'd be like, Chief brought me in.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of reckless on his end. Being like, yo, telling this dude to move from Denver to New York with nothing.
That is
Like,
fucking
yeah.
crazy.
That's wild.
Well, YP was smart about it because he was working on Outdoors season 1 at the time, but he didn't have any resources. And like, it was this idea he had, but like at the time, like Barstool wasn't going to be like, here's like a whole production crew. So he knew that we would get along because we both played hockey. So he's like, oh, I like this kid. I can teach him. And he's down, like he's eager. And I knew that getting in at Barstool was super hard, so I had to just be down for the cause. And luckily, I worked jobs while I was playing like college hockey, so I had a little bit of money that I could just explode. I lost all my money because I had to like pay for everything. And but we just filmed outdoors, and it just worked out. But yeah, Loud Sean was fucking livid. I don't think he actually
Wait,
knows.
when he found out that you were just some rogue.
Yeah, because we basically undercut his hiring process, which is wild. And he was doing his best, and I don't even know if he actually knows exactly how it went down. But so many years have gone by, like who
Yeah.
gives a fuck, and it worked out.
He's not here anymore.
Yeah, so
Yeah, he can't hurt you now.
but it was actually a 500 IQ play by YP.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
me,
mean,
it
that's.
Sounds like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's rare for producer to producer do that because he was still mainly behind the camera at that point. 'Cause-
Yeah, he was in an interesting. Yeah, like he was like in front of camera for Stool Scenes. I mean, back then it was much more fluid. I feel like it still was difficult,
Yeah.
but I never wanted to be like super pushy on doing content. I'll be honest, like I always wanted to, but I didn't want to be like that super desperate guy because I feel like that puts a bad taste in people's mouth. And I also didn't really. I was like, I got to learn. Like up to that point, I was like, the only thing I knew was hockey, and this is like a whole new arena. And then once I got to Barstool and I saw like the level of it, like everyone's idiots, but there is a certain skill set to it. And so I was totally fine, like taking my time.
Yeah, no, for sure. And people always do talk about like the pantheon of like who's got a really good spot. I feel like a lot of people would be like, because you just filmed Stool Scenes, right?
Yeah.
But you got to go everywhere. But like you basically been on like more trips than anyone. I feel.
Yeah, I got super lucky with the Stool Scenes gig because I was able to just be around Dave and Big Cat a lot.
Yeah, I feel like you were everywhere.
And I got, like, 90% of the time, especially on trips, like college football, that was like the most of our trips. 90% of the time, him and Dave and Dan would just be talking about like Barstool and like media and like just sort of talking about like the landscape and strategy. And once they were like comfortable with me and knew I wasn't weird, they would have those conversations. I would just shut the fuck up and listen.
Yeah.
And that was like super cool because one, I'm like in the mix, people trust me. And then two, I could just learn like straight from the horse's mouth just by luck of being there. So it was super fucking lucky.
Two pretty good guys to be around for that.
Yeah, I was super fucking lucky.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And you do have like that chill, like Colorado vibe.
Yeah.
Too. So it's like, like this guy's probably all right.
Yeah, it helps.
Yeah.
You're would you say you're long for here though, or this is like a stop? Are you viewing this as like a stop?
I don't know. I'm super like I kind of just go where I'm really good at just sort of like going. I never thought I'd live in New York. Ended up in New York and I loved it. And then now like Chicago, I never thought I'd live in Chicago, but now that I'm here, I'm like, this is a great city.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loving it so far. Mm-hmm. Like New York is cool, man, but it just beats you down.
Yeah.
It just fucking wears you down, dude. Like I was talking to Tom Lay before this. It's like every day there's like something new that you didn't expect that just like lightly like flicks you in the nuts. It's not going to like derail your whole day. You're not going to have like a mental breakdown and have like an episode where you're like screaming into 7-Eleven or like breaking shit. But it's just like little shit. Like just you're in no control of your environment. Like in every other city I've been in, you have a lot of control over your environment. Like you have a car. You can sort of like be in charge of like your commute. No one's going to fuck with you. But in New York, you move at whatever pace it tells you to. You're surrounded by people all the time, which is like one of the best things about it. Like you're very much with the people.
Yeah.
But you have no fucking control. Like it's a whole different, it's like a beast that can't be tamed. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
We got, do any of those dick flicks come to mind that you'd get smoked by?
Yeah, there's a lot. Like a lot of them have to do with the subway. The subway's great because it's like a city should have good public transportation, and New York has pretty good. But it would be something like you get to your train, you get on, and that particular car doesn't have AC, and you're going to like dinner or like you're going to work or something, and then you start sweating. And then like someone on the subway is like playing, you know, their latest album on a boombox, and like you kind of like, oh cool, like this guy's trying something, it's exciting, but at the same time you're like trying to like focus on what you're doing or like just not paying attention. And then you'll get off and it'll be raining, and then you're like, oh, I should just get a city bike or something, and you go to the city bike place and like you want an electric one, but you get there and someone will take it like right before you. And so it's just like a ton of like little things that you have no control over.
But even like that attitude of some guy's playing his thing on his boombox, and you're like, "Oh, cool." My reaction would never be, "Oh, cool."
Well,
like,
I convinced myself of that.
Yeah,
like
that takes like that's like a unique person to be like, "Oh yeah, this guy's trying. Good for him. Let's listen to it." Like,
Yeah.
I would be like, "Fuck this guy."
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that is really how I felt. But I had to convince myself. I was like, "This is cool. I'm in New York. This is
the vibe.
fun. This is we're having fun."
This is fine.
You're originally from Colorado?
Yeah, I was born in Denver. Yeah.
Gotcha. Interesting. I love that specific scenario. You probably have a very specific day of when that happened.
That happened a lot too, like little shit like that, or even like you go to the grocery store and you have to be like a hunter-gatherer because you don't have a car. It's like a mobile backpack. But like if you go to the grocery store, you have to carry all the shit, and then like you'll get your bag and you'll start going, and then like you'll take like too sharp of a turn and it'll like scrape against your knee, and like the bag will just explode. And then you're just like and then you're like just on the street with like chalupas and like
Jesus,
like
Christ.
frozen peas everywhere, and then you're like, how am I gonna get another fucking bag?
I love this attention to detail.
Yeah.
This is beautiful, Ruby.
Dude, frozen peas on this, that has to be demoralizing. Losing your frozen
peas.
peas.
And then like you look at those peas and you're like, I got to eat these peas, but they've been on the
they've been in New York. They're New York City street peas.
They've been fucked.
Yeah.
They're fucked peas.
Street peas.
Freshly fucked.
Yeah.
So you think it's like not surprising that they forgot to pay a power bill?
No, I don't think it's that surprising. I think that's like a very Barstool thing. I mean, what was the thing Che did with his car? Like, didn't
I
Che
don't know
have like
about
some
that.
shit about his car
yes,
payment?
Che. That's very funny. Actually.
I don't know about this. Is
He
this
got
new?
his car repoed or something? This was like 6 months ago, maybe.
He,
maybe I do
he got
remember
it
this.
repoed because he would get emails that said auto bill
Yeah.
like automobile bill, and he thought it meant auto pay.
Yeah.
And he thought he was like set to go.
Yeah, he was like reading his mail and was like, "Yep, got it, chill."
Yeah.
And they were like, "No, we're letting you know that you need auto
Yeah.
pay."
Yeah.
I feel like that's almost a scheme though. Like that's auto bill. Like it should
Like
be.
they want it to be repossessed.
Yes.
Did he have to like buy that back or anything, or was it just like a tow bill?
That's a good question, Dave. I don't really know.
You guys ever had your car taken to the pound?
Yeah.
Is that what they call it? Did I say that right?
That's
Pound?
That's a dog.
The
But I
impound
think
lot.
that's what happens when
The
it like
impound
needs to
lot.
be
Impound, yeah.
Yeah.
when it needs to be like towed away. You're saying when it can't move anymore.
Yeah, I had my shit towed a couple times.
Did you?
It's a
I've gotten
bad feeling.
Towed twice and booted 3 times.
Oh shit, you're a wild boy.
Putting up
Oh
numbers.
yeah, I'm bad.
I used to put up numbers
He's
in
a
Denver
scofflaw.
too.
Yeah, I'm a scofflaw.
There's
Dude.
something sad about seeing it get pulled away too.
I didn't even get to see that.
No. Oh damn.
I was sad getting it, dude. When I had a shitty Honda Civic and it got taken to the pound, and I went to go pick it up. First of all, that's like a $250 bill right to the face.
Oh, they just fucking
They gouge your shit.
Yeah, they just unleash all.
Yeah,
of
and
it.
you have to go to like an industrial part of town. There's like no one working the front desk. And then when I picked it up, I swear to God, they must have gone out of their way to throw dirt on it.
Dude, I'm not kidding. Mine smelled like fucking ashtray when I got it back. And you'll learn this if you ever get towed. I don't know if it's for every part of the city, but I got mine taken to Lower Whacker. You'll learn all about Lower Whacker.
There's a place called Whacker.
It's a
Lower.
street.
It's a street.
Upper and lower.
You know the
Seen
garbage
The Dark
truck.
Knight?
Yeah, the garbage truck scene in The Dark Knight where
That's
they're in
Lower.
that's Lower Whacker. That's where that was
Got it.
filmed.
And there's no
The underground.
It's hell.
It's hell on earth. You
It's
lose
hell.
GPS. Phone
yeah. There's no
signal.
GPS.
Yeah.
There's no Wi-Fi. There's no phone signal.
Oh,
Like
shit.
it is like
It's
The middle of the ocean.
yeah.
it might as well be right. And
It's bad.
It's wilderness.
yeah, I got my car back. It just smelled like a fucking ashtray, and it was a couple $100 to get it back. You had to pay all your fines too, all your delinquent fines. It was not fun.
Yeah.
time blunt
I
rotation.
swear.
The other time was just I got it towed like down the street because they were like doing construction or something. But so that was easy. But don't get it towed and go to Lower Whacker.
I don't think I'm not gonna get a car. I don't think.
No.
No.
You won't need one where you are.
Yeah, because I'm pretty close to the office.
Yeah, you
and-
could walk.
And I could walk. I'm thinking about getting a moped, dude.
That'd be sick.
I had one in college.
Fasoli was it?
He's got a
Fasoli pays
scooter.
like $70 a month for a nice
Darrell's
scooter.
has one that I think he would sell to you.
Dude, he actually hit me up. He was like, "Do you want to take my place?"
Yes, he's been hitting up everybody from Barstool.
And I was like, "Oh
Yeah,
shit!" Like I'm
he's
about
told me
to
that.
I'm about to close this lease, but let me look at it.
Yeah.
And it was nice, but I was like, I can't afford this.
Yeah,
And
no
then
shit.
I pass it on to someone else. I don't know
wants
if
like
they took
4,
it.
right?
I told
No.
I told Wonton Don about it.
Well, it's like a place that's suited for like a family of 5.
Yeah.
Like it's
It's not his place, right?
no,
No.
it's a place that he's been
yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Forever,
It's
yeah.
the chateau.
yeah.
Yeah.
The chateau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I
but
don't
he
know.
definitely has an extra moped in his garage.
Really?
Promise.
I
Yeah.
fucking love the moped life at
he's
Denver.
he's not far from you either.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Darl's. Yeah, the moped life was big at Denver. Every athlete had a moped. It was
Really?
like it was like Hell's Angels.
You know what else I noticed is like what Wisconsin's like that too. I feel.
Yes.
I went to
There's a big motorcycle
Dude.
culture up there. In
went to
general,
Madison.
Yeah.
In Madison, there were so many.
Oh,
mopeds.
University of Wisconsin. Okay.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's like any major university.
Yeah, probably. But I guess
Dude,
where I
the
went, it was
Dominican,
not a thing.
They were everywhere.
Big on it.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
It's
everywhere.
the best thing for college campus. Like we played a game at Madison one time, and they had the same vibe.
With the mopeds?
It's mopeds. Like athletes
Yeah.
fucking love them.
I actually should ask Dan about it. But it was like an absurd amount of mopeds.
I feel like
Like
that
an
might be a
absurd
newer
amount.
thing too.
Maybe this was like 20. Like I was in college still, so this
Oh.
was over a decade ago.
But I kind of want to get a moped. I want to get a shitty one. I had a shitty one in college. It barely ever. I don't think I could have run faster, but it was so shitty. It got fucking
But who wants to
stolen
run?
though, dude. It got stolen.
No way.
Yeah, it got stolen. Because you could just pick it up. I think someone just like went to my driveway and just literally just picked it up. And
Yeah,
just
that's
put
like a fear. You can't.
yeah.
Yeah.
know? You got 'em
Harry
all.
has one, doesn't he?
He does. Yeah,
Yeah.
he drives every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drives every day. Did you see the video of the Boston cop?
Yeah.
That crazy. How did that happen?
I don't know. What
Did
you're
you guys see this?
He-
Can you pull that up? There's a Boston cop who went on a slide. I guess there's a slide at
Dude,
City Hall.
I've been watching that all morning. It's the funniest video I've ever seen. He comes out like a mannequin.
Is this his gun that comes with it?
Oh my god.
Whoa.
How did he
Or
end
is
up
like-
face down?
Dude, I don't know.
You can just hear whatever.
Did he like
Dude,
pass out?
The velocity of which he's coming down. It's the fastest slide of all time.
Holy
He
fuck.
had to like those pants had to be so
I don't approve
slick
that text, by the way.
and
at the end.
perfectly. What text?
It says when pick slide.
Dude.
Oh no, I don't.
He comes out of that thing like, you know at banks how they used to have the thing where you put your check in like the tube and it's like
Yeah.
he came out of that thing so fast, dude. I love that.
Dude,
video.
he's got it like he's wearing like that Dickies material maybe.
But like,
and that
what,
just makes you
how do
slide
you
down a metal
explain
slide.
It's
not
like kind of
having-
laminated.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks like he has no like control over his limbs. Though,
Yeah,
either.
like even if you are wearing the slippery shit, all it takes is like one hand movement to stop you a little to not go that fast.
Or you use your, and it's not like it's that long of a slide. I got a question on that note you just brought up. How do those things work?
What?
Those bank suction, because the tubes are like they're stiff. They got to go around a right angle. How does that?
I think
to
they have
get
like
to-
slight curves. There's
They're not
nothing
flexib-
I love more than
Oh,
seeing
I
that.
would make my parents let me put the like checks.
Yeah.
And then watch
I
go.
think it's just like a vacuum sealed
Yeah, that's all it
tube
is.
with like hella air, like hydraulic air.
But
Just
the tube is stiff, so how's it supposed to get around a curve?
I mean, it's like how pipes work. You can
Yeah.
bend it.
But that's all water and flexible shit.
Yeah, but
like
it's
no,
Yeah.
but it's like if it's like it's on a track. It's all the same.
I think it's
like
just a
it fits in
gradual
perfectly.
curve. I think it's
Yeah.
just a gradual curve. Dave, I don't know how to tell you this, but it's curves.
I understand it curves, but the thing being that because it's like you said, it's like a suction cup.
But it's a cylinder inside of another cylinder, and it's just like it's like train. It's on like it's on a train
But
track.
when you get to a corner, how's it supposed to fit through?
because it's the exact same size.
If it's the exact same size, it wouldn't work.
Yes, it does work.
I know it does, but it doesn't make sense.
You should investigate this.
Wait, explain this one more time.
You talk like
You know that when you go to the bank and you're not at the window teller, but
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
at
yeah,
the
yeah.
tube thing that sucks up.
Yes.
If it's the thing you put the money or checks in or whatever, it's stiff.
Oh.
So how does it get around a curve if it's the exact same size?
I don't know. Maybe they
I
have like
think it's a
say
fair
no.
question.
maybe they have like little behind the scenes. They have like little Keebler.
I
elves,
think it's
and,
like
it just grabs it and,
telepathy?
and,
Telepathy?
Yeah,
Telepathy?
like Oompa Loompas are in there behind the
or
scenes.
some, like a pin monkey at a
Dude, we
bowling
should
alley.
have that for like public transit. Like imagine you had to get across town and you just get in a little pod and you just. That's like kind of what Elon wanted to do.
That right?
Yeah.
That's the tunnel.
well, here you go. Here you go, Dave.
We can put this up on there.
What is it?
It's
Yeah, why are we showing this to him straight up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
who's back there? Harry.
It's a need to know thing.
Why is-
Pneumatic tube system basics.
Pneumatic tube system basics. We're pulling it up. Jeez, you really halted us here, Chief.
Yeah, well, I mean,
This is a live streaming game.
I got a scoop. Jared Lorenzen, or not Jared Lorenzen,
Jesus.
Michael Lorenzen to the Phillies.
All
To the
right.
Phillies. To the Phillies.
From who? Who's your source?
I don't reveal my sources.
Can we trust you?
Ken Rosenthal.
Yeah, we can't be breaking stuff on our show without some,
Tweet that, Hannah.
some vet in it.
Jared Lorenzen to the Phillies.
You just did it
Jared,
again.
Michael Lorenzen. God damn.
Jeez.
All right.
I will do that until the day I die.
fuck? Wait, so this is the tube process you're
I
saying?
believe so. Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah. You just seal it up.
Yep.
So this is the same as the thing in the bank, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just gonna put it in that tube.
They need to show us the tube turning, the tube turn.
It's the
I
same
have a
thing
bad
as
feeling they're not going to show the tube. Turn.
Yeah, they're just gonna throw it.
how
in
would
there.
they not? They have to, unless
They better.
send.
Look at
Send
this
it,
thing
bit.
just accelerate. Oh, we can't even. There it goes.
Yeah,
It's a lot
they
of
gotta
fun.
show
God
us a clear tube here. Otherwise, it's a busted video. Yeah,
Oh,
there you
there
go,
it-
Dave.
There you go. Yeah.
That's all it is.
But
Who would have
doesn't-
thunk? It's just a curve.
It doesn't make sense how a stiff. I know it's a curve, but how does a stiff object get around a curve like that when it's literally
It's not
suction?
like it's not corners, it's curves.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
understand,
I
but
think it just
I don't
bounces.
know if you do.
It just
With-
rides the rail, man. It
Yeah,
hits the
that's
walls.
what I
there
said.
is no
It's like a
rail.
train
There's
track.
no rail. There
I
is no
actually,
rail.
like, I know what Dave's saying, but it makes sense if you just look at it.
Yeah.
I think that there's an angle to expose this conspiracy here.
I
Yeah,
think so
Dave.
too.
There's some.
I think there's
you got to expose
definitely
big tube. How do they turn?
Big tube.
or maybe the tube's actually flexible.
I haven't
Tube
seen it in forever though.
turns.
Granted,
That
I
would
don't
make
even
sense.
go to a bank anymore, but I don't even know if they still rock out with those.
Yeah,
They do. I just did it this weekend.
Really?
Yeah, I got some checks.
What'd you get checks for?
Just pay some fucking
What kind of schemes are you
contractors.
running?
Do
Pay
you-
some contractors that I need.
Do
work
you?
for.
Do you
I don't
pay
have a
all,
book.
all your okay? You're not. My dad does that.
I don't have a
and that would
checkbook. I
shock
just
me
go
none.
and I get sheets of 3, like an idiot. So I should have a checkbook.
Yeah.
Dude, when I was moving, I've been telling my mom for years. I'm like, I don't have a checkbook. I don't have a checkbook. You gotta if we have a check, you gotta run it. I'll pay you back on fucking Venmo or whatever. I was moving. I found my checkbook. I have thousands.
You got checks?
Yeah.
Can I borrow your checks?
No. What the fuck?
I'll just cross your name out. Right.
Is that how it works?
Can I borrow a blank one? Yeah, just let us
He'll
borrow a
Venmo
blank
you.
one.
Endorse it?
Our routing numbers are probably similar. I'll just white out whatever.
Dude, I just
work.
watched Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, supposedly I can't believe that came out that a lot of it was bullshit, huh?
It was?
Yes.
That guy's like a motivational speaker.
He
now.
was my commencement speaker in college.
Frank Abagnale?
Yeah,
And it
Frank
was fake?
Abagnale, yeah.
So even
Oh,
that's like
every-
a deep fake then.
Yeah.
Faking
That's
about faking.
That's deep inception. That's
Yeah.
fake
He
inception.
didn't
Faking.
fuck Jennifer Gardner?
Well, we don't know about that. That hasn't been proven.
That
That scene rules.
yeah, but I feel like that was like one of her first roles. Like she got famous like after that.
Really? I don't
think
remember
so.
what year that was. I mean, it was early
She
2000s.
was, she was huge.
But, dude,
to
she
have
did it-
such
but
like a
I don't
minor I'm a prostitute role for
I
5
feel like
minutes.
true.
Yeah.
But it's like we got to bring in a big hitter for this. I think Elektra may have been, but I don't know. Actually.
Carmen Electra?
No, the Daredevil. She was.
Oh.
Is that the name of it? Elektra. She was Elektra in Daredevil. She fucks the blind guy.
I don't know that movie.
Some of what
I
It's a
remember
Marvel
it.
Marvel guy.
Some of
that
what
like-
Abagnale said was true. He did forge checks, masquerade as pilots, sit in a few jump seats, escape a jailhouse, and go to prison in Europe. But the rest is not so humble brags.
Oh well, then the most
Rest is-
most impressive thing, and I'm pretty sure that he said it in like some of his speeches when there's like, "How did you pass the bar exam?" And there's Tom Hanks's character, the boss. How'd you pass the bar exam?
Yeah.
And he's like, "I just studied for it."
He did it for 2 straight weeks. Apparently, just studied law for 2 weeks and then just bodied.
But
the-
if that's
the
a
bar.
brag and a lie, then like his whole
I mean, it's a
then
movie.
it
They're gonna.
is fraud inception.
Yeah, but he's a con artist.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
But like I
yeah.
thought he was on the straight and narrow. He's working for the FBI. He's making movies with Tom Hanks.
Well, they brought him in because he's just like the Czech goat. He's just like no one better. That movie fucking rules.
It's
man.
a great movie.
That is an awesome movie.
Yeah.
Real quick here, I want to talk about ChevyDriveChicago.com. Bears fans, we have some huge breaking news. The Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers are proud to announce that they are the new official partner of the Chicago Bears. Tailgating this year just got a whole lot more exciting. The all-new Silverado is what you need to kick off your Bears season. Head to ChevyDriveChicago.com to shop and find your local Chevy dealer today. That's huge.
Absolutely
It's a big deal.
huge. Drive what Justin Fields drives. He's on the face of all those marketing campaigns now. It's nice to see. It's nice to see him just throwing dimes all over Lake Forest.
Oh, yeah.
That's been nice on Twitter. It's been great. It's been great, and now it's like the perfect partnership. Everybody heading the right direction.
Be a lot of Silverados, a lot of Colorados at Soldier Field.
Big
this year.
time.
It's going to be awesome.
That's how you make a better tailgate right there.
Pull up, come with all your gear,
Yep.
your grills and whatnot, your coolers, and have a good time. And if you need one, like I said, head to ChevyDriveChicago.com to find your local Chevy dealer today. And you don't have to get a truck, get whatever. You get the Malibu, you can get the Blazer, you can get the Equinox.
Whatever suits your needs.
Yeah, whatever suits your needs,
Yeah.
exactly. Shout out to ChevyDriveChicago.com. All right, so as you can see, White Sox Dave he's on the prowl right now. It's the deadline's in 2 hours, 2.5 hours?
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
Central, 5 Central.
What do we got cooking? Why are you? I'm surprised you're so into it. This is the most life-filled I've seen you since the White Sox have broke your heart.
This may come as a shock to you, Ed, but I woke up this morning pissed off. I was really pissed off. I looked at this and I'm like, man, it'd be really sweet if the White Sox, were about to deal from their surplus of prospect depth to get
Looking for that
finishing
final,
touch.
a little final piece of the puzzle. Get them
Yeah,
that World
but
Series.
instead it's the other way around, like it is perpetually with them. So I want to make this very clear. This is like, I'll call 50% a joke. So there is this kid that DMs me Scoops and has for years, and he has been nothing but accurate. Nothing but accurate. He knows somebody.
Like
I don't know.
100%.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He knows. But I got out of the Scoop game probably more so that I don't care about other teams and what they're doing. And a lot of the shit he gives me is on a national scale. So, but I decided to have fun with the deadline, knowing that all the actually valuable players are probably maybe going to get dealt by the White Sox. And this is how I'm having fun with my deadline day. So I missed it by about 10 seconds. The first one was Verlander. He hit me up right away. He's like, hey, Verlander's done. And I was in the bathroom, as you guys saw. I got back. I missed it by like 10 seconds. So my goal is to win one today. But he did Send me all of his notes if you guys care to hear them.
Rudy.
I'll wait for Rosenthal.
Yeah.
I'm not a big baseball guy, but I kind of want to just like start tweeting out.
A handful of these have already happened.
Just make up ones.
What's the next one that hasn't happened?
Where's
Dylan
this
Cease
is
going?
So 50-50 seats, 50-50 chance on Cease, and if he goes, it'd be the Orioles. He says.
Can you give the next scoop to Rudy so he could tweet it out?
yeah.
No, I'm getting.
Give me just like anything.
It doesn't even have to be the big one, like the Cease or the big ones. You could like give him a little.
Tim
one.
Lincecum to the Tigers.
I wonder what he's doing these days.
He's
had a
retired,
fucking-
right?
Very
Oh, yeah.
retired.
Yeah.
Like
smoking
7
weed.
years.
He's in a
years.
band somewhere.
Yeah, he's in a band smoking weed, like covering.
Maybe I'll
Nirvana
break
songs.
news on retired players.
Yeah.
Tim Lincecum's dropping a new single.
Here, you can tweet this. The Marlins are heavily in on Lane Thomas.
Okay, we like this.
Okay, the Marlins. Okay, hold on.
Cite your sources.
No, I'm gonna say hearing some scuttlebutt.
Yeah.
Some scuttlebutt.
I'll retweet it.
What is his name?
Lane Thomas, Lane Thomas.
Lane Thomas is going where?
No. The Marlins are heavily in on Lane Thomas. Just say that. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but
Okay.
they're working on
They're
it.
pursuing it.
They're pursuing it.
Are heavily in.
Huge news.
Okay.
Cubs. Actually, I'll tweet this one.
Well, what are the Cubs doing?
The Cubs are in on Andrew Chafin.
Okay.
I don't. Is that how you say his last name?
That was already tweeted. I've seen that.
And
already.
Aaron Bummer. That's
Okay.
already been out there, but it just makes sense. So a lot of these you can, phrase as scoops, but they're not technically scoops because some things just make so much sense that why would they not be in on them? But yeah, that's how I'm having fun with it. My whole goal today is to have this kid DM me, and I you know what, I got to call out Eric Cubs right now. He's like, oh, fucking Rosenthal beat you 15 seconds ago, and he's like saying, I'm like, Hubs, I very clearly said this is via DMs. It's a joke. But this kid also does have info. So even though I'm fucking around right now, this kid does get info, and I'm just going to tweet it all.
Wait, so you got to have like a thing though, like there's Woj bombs. What's the White Sox Day version of a Woj bomb?
Scoop City.
Scoop City?
Yeah.
He's
I
been
don't-
saying that.
Scoop.
For
I
like
think we can work on
8
the marketing
years.
of that. I think we can work on that. I think we need
Did you
something.
tweet that?
I'm about to. I'm going to say Rudy Scoop.
Rudy Scoops?
Are
I
you
like
just
that.
kidding, Dave? But you would care if you got a good scoop.
I'm kidding in the sense that I'm doing this via DM. I'm not kidding that the kid does get legitimate information.
But
and has for years.
You would love it if the big dogs had to cite you again.
Exact. That's what I'm going for.
So
That's
you're
exactly
not
what-
kidding.
I'm not. I'm kidding that it's all. I don't have fucking sources. I don't know who this guy is. He could be a kid. I'm calling him a kid. He
Rudy, oh my
feels like a
gosh.
kid.
Yep. I don't know if I spelled scuttlebutt right.
Scuttle.
No.
I don't think you did.
It's scuttle butt, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like
I'm really bad at spelling. And
Do you want to do a spelling bee against White Sox Dave?
Yeah, it's gonna be a race to the bottom.
Oh, you're assuming he's a bad speller?
Are you a bad speller?
I'm actually not a bad speller.
I'm pretty fucking bad. I thought I was good, and then
Then you tried to spell scuttlebutt?
I tried to. I routinely. It's not even like. Well, initially I thought that I was just like didn't care about spelling. I was like, listen, like
You were like,
I'm
Dave.
just I just like to type things and like whatever. It's like I'm
If
not.
there's
I
a
don't-
red line under it, fuck it.
Fuck it, dude. Like
Yeah.
we're really gonna do spell check. Like this isn't. I'm not gonna do MLA citations on it. Fucking.
You
tweet.
know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean. Like people used to get mad at me for like the right conjugation of there, like using the like THEIR or whatever. And I was like, you know what I mean. Like I get what it's right. I get that it's right. So I lived under that forever. And then finally I got sick of all the hating. So I did a spelling test on my stream, and I got absolutely rinsed. Like I could not pass this spelling test.
Ooh. Does that make you nervous?
No.
I've gotten a lot better.
Rinsed means he got
I got
poorly.
smoked.
Yeah.
I know, but you're saying like you thought you wouldn't do that bad.
I would be bad. I'd be
You
bad.
okay.
I'd be minus 5 words if we did it out of 10.
Oh, okay.
He's-
I'm bad. I mean,
Okay.
I have a learning disability, so I need like skill-based math. I need a handicap.
Do you have a learning disability?
Yeah, dyslexia.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well then.
What's
But-
it like for you? Like, what's life like?
Honestly, I got a 35 on reading on my ACT. I'm good at
Take
reading.
it yourself?
Yeah, I had crazy
What'd
accommodations.
you get in your ACT?
27.
Oh, that's good.
But
That's a really
I
good
went
score.
I went through like biblical amounts of tutoring just to get me ready. Like I went through.
What'd you do? If 27, you would have had to do well in like everything.
I did super well on everything, but my tutor was basically like, you have to do super good on everything because your math score is going to be so bad that you have to compensate. With dyslexia, the one thing I cannot do is mental math. I cannot do mental math whatsoever.
I never knew that dyslexia impacted math, but of course it does.
I think it varies, but I just cannot do mental math. Like if you asked me 11 plus 21, it would take me 3 minutes.
So when the check comes out, you're always hitting that 20% times 0.20.
Yeah,
the
that
restaurant?
I figured out, and I also learned the trick where if you go like 2 decimal points over and double it or whatever, that helps.
Maybe I'm dyslexic
But
because I don't get math.
that, yeah, you might be.
I might be.
Yeah. But that whole thing where you're like, yeah, I can't spell at all. I'm terrible with reading. And I had to do good at that because I suck at math.
Yeah, why did you not just say like, yeah, reading was gonna be the fucking like I had to do good in reading?
My saving grace.
Well, the thing about the reading, it's
I would
kind
have
of-
assumed that the way you teed up your reading that math was your strong suit.
No, I was, but the problem. Okay, so here's the thing. I got like the Rolls Royce Bentley of accommodation. So like you do like a psychological evaluation, and they tell you
Okay.
like where you're at, and then you have to send that to standardized testing, and then they decide what your accommodations are. And I got like the Bentley of accommodations, like to the point where like it almost was insulting that they thought I was this bad.
What does that mean?
So I got time and a half on every section.
Okay.
Meaning if you got 60 minutes to complete the
You get 90.
science section, I get 90. Then the other one I got, which was crazy, and my college counselor says like no one ever gets this, is I got separate days. So I go in and I would take a section and then leave. I didn't have to do it all in one shot.
Oh, what?
And my
Fuck,
counselor,
you're 27, buddy.
that's what I'm saying is that it's a badge of honor, but it's kind of has an asterisk next to it, especially because of the reading. The only part about the reading part of the ACT that's difficult is the fact that you have to like basically speed read. All the answers are in there. But if you get time and a half, all you got to do is basically like read a short story and then just like check your answers. So like you almost can't fuck it up as long as you're paying attention.
This is a White Sox Dave challenge that we should all do at some point. Is like retake.
Take the ACT.
Yeah.
It would take too long though.
No,
It's a
but like
4-hour test.
we'll take the reading section of it.
Or yeah, just do what I did. Do separate
get,
days.
get the Rudy accommodation.
Yeah.
Just do separate days. But there were kids that I don't want to like be mean, but I had homies that were way more dyslexic and stupid than I was, or challenged, I guess. And they didn't get them. Like they just rolled out the red carpet. And my college counselor was like, "You are not taking the SAT because you're not going to get these same accommodations, and it's going to lower your value." So
Wait, sorry. Did you say why you got that over them?
they didn't say.
Did they not submit it, or you just have a generous person reading?
I think I just had a generous person. They took pity on me.
Huh.
Yeah,
No
but
shit.
the way the math section worked is my tutor was like, you have to nail the first 20 questions. The first 20, it gets gradually more difficult on the math section. He was like, you have to nail the first 20 because you're gonna brick the last 20. And he's like, you have to hit. It's basically like a golf course where the first 9 holes are layups, and then the back 9 is brutal. He's like, you have to par the first 9, or you're not making the cut.
But you made the cut with flying colors. Like if
Because
you
I had so many other good. I got a 19 in math.
Were you good enough at hockey to be like, I could get a 19 and be fine?
I was not quite good enough, but the Air Force Academy, I could have gotten into the Air Force Academy, which is pretty rigorous.
Yeah.
But Harvard, I remember I was talking to Harvard, and then they were like,
Nah.
they were like, it's gonna be tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be tight. I was like, I don't need to do math, dude. What the fuck? Yeah.
I think if I took the ACT right now, that the math section, what's the lowest you can get?
I couldn't do it.
0.
I don't. But you'll guess
By
right
accident?
by accident. Yeah. So
Probably
you can't
like
get
a 7
0.
or an 8.
I knew a kid who was on a team with me who got a 13 for the entire test.
That's like.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
For the
impossible.
ACT?
That
Yeah.
dude rules, I bet.
No, he fucking sucked. He was the worst.
I got a 19, but that's really bad.
Is that your high? Yeah.
I tried to retake it twice and I didn't make it.
What does that mean?
Oh, I remember
You
this.
didn't
Yeah.
show up.
One time I had a test. We had a football game Friday night, and it got rained out, so they rescheduled the game to Saturday.
Okay, it's out of
How's
your
a
control.
football
Out of my
game get?
control.
Yeah.
And then the next time, Friday night, was the Pats Notre Dame game. Had a couple too many beers and didn't make it.
That'll
and
happen.
So you only had one go at it.
I only had one go.
I wasn't in
yeah.
my senior yearbook because I overslept because I was hungover the 2 times, and my mom is still pissed at me for that.
Yeah, my dad was not happy with that. That's for sure.
Did you at least get the not pictured David Williams?
I did. I'm in that section of the yearbook like a clown.
That is sad, dude. I would have loved to see you in high school. Just a photo of you.
Oh, there's
Did you ever
photos.
see his baby picture?
No.
It's jarring
Why?
because he like
He looks like
was like a
innocent,
nice, like,
cute
that
kid.
was
wasn't
looking kid.
a
No, you're
baby
like
pic. I
7
was
or
like,
8, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
8,
yeah.
9.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
He's a cute kid.
He's
Yeah.
like a little league picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like
He's a cute adult.
I agree.
yeah, but like he's like a cynical,
Yeah,
like,
but he's mischievous.
grumpy,
Yeah.
fucking angry guy.
Well,
Yeah.
I got to deal with you two fuckfaces all day.
We
Well, okay, fine,
should be
but
so lucky.
still, you're
I
telling
would've-
me every kid on that team was a good guy? I don't think so. I doubt
There
that.
are a handful of kids from that. That was my first or second. So I was on the Astros and T-ball, and then that was my second team. That was the Tigers. I know exactly what. There's.
Where can we find that picture? 'Cause
I have no
Rudy,
idea.
you will not guess which one.
I would have.
That wasn't on the internet though. It was like a phone text or something.
My fantasy of
Should never
Dave is
post
like
it.
a 7 or 8-year-old photo. Is just like a kid who
not
somehow
posted
has
some?
like a little bit of a beard and has just like a huge chew in at 8
Fast
years
forward,
old.
And he's like
4 years,
sneaky
and that's
giving
what
you the
I was.
finger.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, yeah, exactly.
Baby Grinch.
He's giving you the baby finger. Yeah.
There are like
Wait,
4
that
kids
was
from-
never posted.
No, I remember. Kate's here. For some reason we asked Kate. We're like,
Which one is Dave?
Which one is Dave? We were in person. Hold on, actually.
You strike me as the kind of kid that like lit GI Joes on
Do you
fire.
have it? Can we put it up there? or
Sid
no?
from Toy Story.
Yeah.
He's got those vibes. That's my point. And when you see him, it is not like that at all.
He was just an adorable.
You
little
just
boy.
want to
Yes.
you want to know where it all changed.
Yes, like what
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah.
Probably heavy sports fandom. That tears a man down.
Probably.
Yeah.
The day he got fired from
How old-
Target.
It wasn't my mom who texted it to me.
You got
No.
fired from Target for what? Not wearing red.
No, I just started skipping shifts because it was the White Sox one playoff run that they
Told you,
succeeded on.
sports.
Well, they won the
Respect.
they won the World Series that year.
Yeah, they won the World Series that year. I like that. I wouldn't trade that. I was making like $7 an hour. It was the first job I ever had.
Yeah, they probably didn't give a fuck, dude.
No,
Target?
I didn't give a fuck
Yeah.
either. I told my dad too. I'm like, I'm not going to work tonight. He's like, yeah. I don't blame you.
Well, your dad knew it was never going to happen
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
That's like a more American thing. When I went on a trip to South Africa once, and there was we were at like a cafe or like a coffee shop, and the rugby teams were playing, and the whole restaurant just dead stopped. Waiters stopped, everything stopped to watch the game. Didn't matter.
That's their big sport, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like one of the coolest parts of a small town, in my opinion.
High school football in the South.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Everything just dead stop.
You get that Permian
Friday
shit.
Night Lights.
Yeah, where it's like diners closed, gone to the game, and like they put those signs in the window.
You could rob the whole town, but nobody
yeah,
would do it.
Nobody would do it
Yeah.
because out of respect.
Yeah.
When I was playing junior hockey in Texas, we played against this team called the Odessa Jackalopes.
That's a sweet name.
It was a cool name. But the stadium was like right across the street from what's the Friday Night Lights?
Permian.
Permian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it was
Yeah.
like right there. And it was mad fucking depressing because
Ratliff Stadium.
all of us were like, "Oh my god, like that's so cool." Like the whole town turns up for them, and then we played the Odessa Jackalopes in the NAL, North American Hockey League. No one gave a fuck.
Oh yeah, they don't give. a
Dude, one of the funniest things that's ever happened to me in a hockey game happened that game. There was this kid that played for Odessa. I cannot remember his name, but he'd been in the NAL for like 3 years.
Who'd you play for down there? Tornadoes?
Wichita Falls Wildcats,
Okay.
which are now the Warriors, I think.
Okay.
But the 3 years in the NAL is like 4 tours in Vietnam. We used to call it the Vietnam. Like it tears a kid down. Like it's not the USHL. I mean, it's probably hieroglyphics for non-hockey people, but the USHL is like the top level junior hockey
Yeah.
in the country, and then the NAL is for like the kids that are pretty good, but they ain't the top.
They used to
prospects.
be when I was that age. They were pretty even.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
They used to be like Patrick Kane. The funny thing is, it used to be like integrated, so it was
Yeah.
like one league. So like all the alums for the NAL are crazy. It's like Patrick Kane, like Phil
Well,
Kessel.
it was the development program was in the NAL.
Yeah, but it's not how it is now. Like they claim all these crazy alumni, anyways. But these a lot of kids would just get broken down. I remember one time we were playing Odessa. They had this D-man who'd been in the league forever. Everyone kind of knew him. We were battling for a puck in the corner, and like mid play, in the corner battling for a puck, he goes, "Do you want the puck?" And I was next to the kid that he was battling with, and he was like, "What?" And this is mid play. He's like, "What?" He's like, "Take it. I don't give a fuck." And he just like took it, and he's like, and then I saw him again like a next shift, and he was like, "Guy, I hope I get fucking traded from this place. Get me the fuck out of here." He's like, if you're against me, you got to get a plus.
A good way to get traded, I'm sure. I'm sure everyone wants
Yeah.
this guy.
Yeah.
His stat
Dude.
sheet looks great.
Yeah, there was a lot of that.
Sounds like who was the guy? I think he was on the Bills or the Dolphins. Vontae Davis, where he was like quit at halftime.
Oh yeah, he just
Yeah,
retired.
I think it was like week 1. He's like,
It was
Dude,
week 1.
I-
Retired
yeah.
at halftime. He's like, I'm not built for this no more.
Imagine like getting
Whitney
through.
did that.
He did.
His ankle like didn't work in like Germany, and then like after the first period, he was like,
Yeah, I think
can't do this.
that was. I think I think he's told that.
Antonio Brown.
Ozzie Guillen told a
But
story.
like he was already like,
He's a
bro, if you're
millionaire.
playing in Sweden at the
Yeah.
end, like your
He's
career
chilling.
basically done.
honestly
Yeah.
have a major question for you, and we found this last week. So, do you think hockey culture is getting like a little over the top?
Oh, dude.
Well, I think social media.
Because you're a real
Fucked
hockey
it.
guy. Like,
Fucked
you
it.
played in college, like everything.
Yeah, I always had like a weird relationship because Colorado is like the super new hockey culture. Like once the Avs won in 01, hockey just boomed in Colorado. And that's how I got in. So we were kind of always like weird. Like we'd go to tournaments and we would bring our skateboards because we would go to the skate park like after games. And like for the like
Yeah.
Minnesota kids, that was like, they were like, what the fuck?
I think what we're talking about is like hockey has like like players now. Some like kids now have like a speech pattern.
Yeah,
They
no,
all,
yeah,
and it's
no,
like
okay.
like we did not talk that way, and now it's like there's
Yeah.
like
You
this.
think he does?
Yes, I have told you this
What
for
are
years.
you-
You got like a hockey accent.
He does
No,
a little
no,
bit.
no. He's saying
You're talking
something
like-
different. He's saying, put it this way. All right, someone came up to us at the tailgate
Yeah.
this weekend. They're like, "Yo, Chief, what do you think about Bedsy this year?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it was
and
just
they-
like what?
Yeah, there's
what
like
do
a
you-
very specific hockey cadence, and that's been a thing forever. And it's always sort of like gone up and down whether people hate it or love it. I would say in general people love it, but I would say now with like TikTok and social media, it's made it pretty nauseating. Like especially
nauseating.
there's like one kid in particular. I don't want to like throw shade at him, but like the Zin kid like drives me fucking crazy.
I don't even know who that is.
He only does Zin content, and that like puts like people love it, and he does a great job. But like it drives me crazy because it's like triggering like PTSD.
But
in
is he
terms of-
poking fun at it?
I don't know. I think he's like I don't know where he's from. He could be completely authentic, but it's like takes the hockey accent to like the highest level. He's like, "Hey, how's it going, bud? Like upper decker zinnies for
Yeah,
the
like all-
Ferda boys."
Yeah, that
And
stuff
it's
drives
like-
me fucking crazy.
And in the beginning, like it was cool when like all that shit was not known, like all those phrases like Ferda, like
Yeah.
Rocket, Beauty,
Cheddar.
upper cheddar, but like
Clapper.
no like current hockey dudes say shit like that.
right.
So that's sort of like where it's at. But
It's weird how cool it went from being to like not cool.
yeah,
It's like frat boyish now almost.
Yeah,
Like frat boy,
exactly.
like-
Yeah,
It,
but
like,
it's like
blends the
worse
lines.
though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. It drives me like, and these kids were like fine. They were nice.
They're nice guys.
They
I'm
were
not
nice
shitting on them,
kids,
but
but
it
it
was
was
They're
just.
products of their environment.
But like, who decides that that's like you're getting that from somewhere else? Like you're from suburban Chicago. Like you're getting that. I don't know. Like you just see it in pop culture on TikTok, and it's like, oh, we should all like this is how hockey players talk.
Outside of the rink, it's not as fun. That's the problem. It's like when you're in the rink and you see like a real authentic, it's cool. Like I'll give you an example of like some hockey lingo that I was just blown away by that like isn't popular. All my roommates in college were Canadian. Like all the guys at Denver I lived with were all Canadian, like straight up hardcore Canadians. And when they would get their test scores back, they would only communicate with hockey player number names. And so people would be like, Hines, like, what'd you get on the business test or whatever? He'd be like, put up a Kopitar.
Yeah.
And I was like,
All right, but like that's
that's
actually
funny.
sweet.
That's
yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, that's actually,
That's more like a metaphor.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'll do that for
Yeah.
football, obviously not hockey. But like we play golf the other days, what do you do? It's like Cutler.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
whatever. It's
Yeah,
like,
and I was
yeah.
like, that's
McNair.
fucking rad. I was
Yeah.
like, that's rad.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But like that's funny.
Yeah.
But like I don't know.
or when we
It-
sit at the table for like gambling, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like Mississippi Stub where you can't like share hands,
Well,
but you can.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I got Iverson's, you know, or
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
team,
yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
you know.
But
Yeah.
it's also like there's a difference between like Biz doing it and like some like kid from Geneva doing it. You
Yeah.
know, like they're like if it is like if you grew up with that and like you're inventing some of the words, and then I think that's different. But if you're just like parroting what you're hearing other places, then I'm like, yeah, like that.
Yeah,
makes, that
I always
makes it
try to
gross.
like consciously, because I was surrounded by so many Canadians. Like I wanted to communicate with them and be in tune with the slang and everything, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I was like, I'm not Canadian.
right.
I still I can't go too crazy on this, or else I'm just a fraud.
But calling like, oh, I got a Malkin on that test score is
Yeah.
like that's funny to me.
I was like, that's
funny.
creative and super funny. It
Yeah.
took me forever to like, because they knew every player's number.
Yeah.
And growing up, like, when I was a kid, I
Well, you're
loved
dyslexic.
I loved watching that too. I loved watching hockey, but the further I got along in hockey, I didn't like watching it really anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't really enjoy it, so I didn't know like players' names. I think I like know the least about hockey of any like high level like.
Do you think you'll ever get back in as a fan?
Yeah, I still watch.
Yeah. Okay.
I still watch, but like.
You coming to Chicklets Cup this time? I feel like we missed.
Yes,
you. We
dude.
missed
I
you
was
last
so
time.
sad that I couldn't go to the last one. I fucking loved.
Yeah,
that.
I think that's why we didn't win the championship.
I
too.
fucking.
You're
loved
one of the
doing
better
it.
guys, right?
Yeah.
Well, but like you never know because you always hear this guy played, and I remember hearing Riggs is like really fucking good too, and I know he
Riggs-
played at Harvard.
Oh, like what? Our two D1 guys are
Yeah.
actually fucking good. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're both really fucking
We're
good.
good, but like the thing about playing roller is like it's so different. Like our stick skills are better, obviously, but like in terms of like roller, it's kind of like a big equalizer. It's kind of just a shit show.
This is like humble guy Rudy. Rudy's our best player.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
all right. Did you play in the one Sharp was in?
Yes.
Oh, he was not as good as Sharp.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
no.
trying
Yeah.
to figure out. Because
What
you
about
play-
like-
what
but
about
like-
Scott?
Yes, that's what
Yeah,
I'm
I was-
Scott,
but-
well, Scott was a goalie, so
Yeah.
it's a little bit different. But he was by far the worst player.
That's what I mean. No disrespect to Scott, but that's
Yeah.
where it's like
Yeah.
you would think he'd be better than these guys.
No, but it was one of those things where it was like, all right, that was the Vegas one, right? And it was
Yeah.
like, all right, well, Sharp like actively wanted to play with Rudy because Rudy knows how to play. It's so it's like Sharp, like if Sharp goes to a certain area, he knows he's going to get the puck from Rudy and like vice versa.
Yeah.
Where
that was Nirvana, dude.
yes,
Was it?
It
yeah,
was so easy.
yeah.
Yeah. It was
So,
awesome.
Yeah, Sharpie, like he like I don't know, he scored 400 something goals I think in the NHL. Like he's fucking awesome. And then Rudy was our second best player.
Yeah.
Versus like Frankie Borelli will score a lot of goals, but he's like banging home rebounds in front of Frankie camps out up front and pots them in, which is great. You need that, but like Rudy's like he can get the puck behind the net, go the distance, and score.
Yeah, so you're a self-starter.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to in the next one though. So like roller is fun, but like we're playing on like weird surfaces.
No,
and
the Buffalo one.
I heard the Buffalo
It's awesome.
one was really nice,
Yeah.
but roller's a whole different game, honestly. But the ball hockey, I told Grinnell, I was like, I really want to play in the ball hockey because that is like a
Wait, you
war.
guys use pucks for the?
We have, there's like a street hockey puck. The ball hockey you play on your feet, like you're just on sneakers. That's the thing that Biz does.
It's a ground war.
That to me, like if I tried to play in that, my Achilles is popping 100%.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
dude,
prepared,
don't
but
say
that
that.
one gets like really fucking competitive, and that's like what I really miss.
Yeah.
I want to do that, so I'm gonna try to do both. I'll probably never be the same physically in terms
Yeah.
of like that'll do some
Well,
untold damage, but I'm really excited. It's my favorite barstool event I've ever done.
It's
is
the
Chicklets
best.
Cup.
It's the best. We
It's
actually
so
have. We're
fun.
gonna have 2 NHL guys on our team in Buffalo. I don't know if this is breaking news, but Merles is playing. So he played last time, and then now Colby Armstrong's playing too.
Oh, nice.
So
Scoop City.
yeah, we're gonna be.
Scoop City.
Shout out Army.
Merles
yeah,
is
Army's
awesome.
the best.
Yeah.
I haven't met
Yeah.
Army, but Merles is awesome.
Yeah, Merles is great.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
a
super
that's
stoked.
like that crew, like that whole group that goes. Like Feidelberg's like really good dude. Like that. It
How
has
does he
like a
compare
lot.
to Rudy and Riggs.
Rudy's a lot better than Feidelberg.
Feidelberg?
Yeah,
Played at Florida State Club,
yeah. So it's a little bit of a difference. Yeah.
but he can play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I'm telling you, when you're on rollerblades, like unless you grew up playing roller, which I didn't, like rollerblades is like a whole different language.
It is, but like being on the big ice, like it's like an Olympic sized rink in
Yeah.
Buffalo, and it's as smooth as that out there.
yeah.
It's so much easier.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
the first one in Detroit, we were playing in like a parking lot with a ton of cracks in it. That was
Yeah.
like doing a tour in Afghanistan. Like it was.
Let's get Chaps in here to compare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just his alive
day,
day
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is the ball hockey.
The ball hockey's a war, dude. Like you got to fight for every inch.
Oh, this
Dude,
is sweet.
would you want to be on the big deal biz team? Is that
That's what I told Grinnell. I was like, listen, if you guys need a guy, I'll play in both.
well, like they're like that. They import everybody, and they got psychopaths on that team.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
I want to get psychotic. Like,
Okay.
I'll be honest. Like, Chicklets Cup is like the only casual hockey I like playing anymore.
Yeah,
there's
same.
there's some guys that love playing men's league. I never like playing
Nope.
men's league because
Men's league stinks.
I'm not trying to like shit on it, but like it just isn't as fun for me.
And it's at like 11, 12 at night. Like it's just like
It's a lot.
Dude, I played
Yeah.
in men's league baseball like 7 years ago, and I had to drive out to Benedictine in the burbs.
Yeah.
And halfway through the season, I'm like, fellas, I can't fucking.
No,
do this
but the
It was, like,
difference
good
is
baseball,
the
too.
difference is though with baseball and all this. Why is hockey men's league? It's so late because of the rink time.
Yeah.
they're legit 11 p.m. games.
Yeah, 11:50
Midnight.
start time. Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
absurd.
yeah. And so, but the ball hockey is like really fucking competitive. So I kind of want to just get
it's
into that.
like I got nervous watching it last time.
It gets
because
intense, dude.
there are many times where like they're gonna have fights here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super intense.
So, like, I mean, obviously it goes without saying, but you never played floor hockey growing up then, right?
Gym class.
Okay.
Yeah, but not like in a league or anything.
was the shit.
Gym class, like when
I
it was
loved
gym
it.
class day for ball hockey.
It was the best sport. That and
best.
badminton was awesome.
I don't think we ever
never
did
played
badminton.
badminton.
Oh, badminton was so fucking fun in gym. I took a badminton class in college just because you needed to knock out a physical ed requirement. So I took badminton.
College, you had a physical ed requirement.
Shuttlecock.
Liberal arts school. You have
Yeah.
to do a little bit of everything.
I was at a
That sounds
liberal arts
cool.
school. We didn't have any physical requirements.
It must
Physical
have maybe it's just an elective where you need an extra elective.
or something like that. Yeah.
It
I thought everybody
He
needed
just
one,
joined. He
like,
just joined like a
physical ed class,
local team, and he was like, "I got an A in this class."
That was it.
No, it was through.
That was it.
I probably took it because I needed an A. I would assume.
yeah.
We
That
all
was the
had
best. You had like 12 credits to fill. It was like, all right, give me bowling, give me whatever, and you're.
We
just
had
good to
in
go.
high school. We had a driving range.
You know,
Gym.
you know what one our one was? We took this class that like every hockey player just definitely got in because it was an easy A and it was so fun. Was Wines of the World.
Ooh.
At Denver, we had Wines of the World.
That's crazy.
You just do little tastings all day.
You just do tastings, and they had like the little ball bearing thing, like they have sometimes at bars where like you only get like 1 ounce.
Okay.
But we figured out that like it's a gravity based ball bearing, so like if you tip it all the way over, it's only going to give you a certain amount. But if you like kind of like hold it in the middle,
It'll keep going.
Oh, like the shot thing?
Yeah.
Like the little spout?
yeah, the spout, yeah.
Wait, so how did that work though? Did they have to like heavily monitor like who drives the class and whatnot?
Not really.
Get on
I mean,
that
you had to
moped.
be 21 to be in
Yeah.
the class. So like you only could get it like that's why hockey guys just ran it because all of us are like
Junior kids.
super old. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I was 21 when I was a fucking freshman. And so there's a ton of hockey dudes in it. And then you could just say whatever the fuck you wanted. Like they would take the glass and they'd be like, what is this remind you of? Like what are the tannins giving you? And we would always just say like the wildest shit. We'd be like, this feels like it was definitely like a west facing slope into like a muddy creek. And they'd be like, okay, yeah. And we'd be like, we're just saying whatever.
Yeah, just making a.
It's mossy with a little almond in it, I think.
Yeah.
Are
This
you
is
that
like
way?
earthy.
You've been in Napa, right?
I've actually never done that,
Oh,
but
really?
no. I can't, like, I don't have a sophisticated palate for
No.
that stuff.
It's because you don't know what adjectives to use. You're like earthy, oaky. Like, what do they mean?
I don't know what those mean.
But you just the thing is
just
once you
say it
realize you can
anyways.
just say whatever you want,
Yeah.
they're never gonna like shoot you down.
Well, they had that whole documentary. We've seen. What was the name of that? Sour Grapes. Have you seen that?
No.
I haven't. but heard
I've
of it.
seen it. Yeah.
It's
So-
about sommeliers.
But basically, there was this one guy who was like running this scam where he would say like he found like this super rare bottle
Yeah.
that he was like mixing like Franzia, and he would like bring it to these shows, and people would be like, "Oh my god, that's the best one." He's like, "I'll give
Yeah.
you $30,000 for if you have another bottle of that," and he would just. And he was like,
Okay.
He was like
Props.
Googling the labels and like aging the labels, but then like filling the bottles with shit wine. And like literally wine that he would go down to the grocery store and like mix like two different, like just do different blends. And then people, because they wanted to be like a hoity-toity, like I know wine, like oh my
They
god, this
wouldn't. No one had the guts to be like, this is trash.
No.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
abstract art.
Yeah, exactly,
Exactly. Yeah.
perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
Fashion, you name it, all that shit.
yeah.
100,000%, dude.
Yeah.
100,000%.
Damn. Did you bring your gimp suit?
Yeah, it's
You
in
did?
transit. I don't know where the fuck my shit is, but it's somewhere.
So like, what are you doing for clothes and?
I packed
socks?
I packed a suitcase. I got an air mattress, and that's it.
You're like a good nomad, though. Like
I can
you're,
nomad
yeah,
well
for sure.
When I first got to New York, I got good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just couch surfing.
You have
and
to.
doing that shit.
Did
It's
you-
fun.
The gimp suit. Did you ever have someone like seriously take you up on it, like from your streams?
Like that wanted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are like, I want the gimp suit, but I'm like, you don't want this. Because I like tore like a hole where the cock is so I could take a pee because there was no pee hole. I'm like, this thing has been farted in, worn in. Like, you don't want this. And also, it's like a grail, dude. Like, I'm saving that forever.
The gimp suit. It's a big
yeah.
moment. For
I
you.
kind of got to pivot, though. Like
you
the
know,
gimp-
Pass it
when
down to
we
your son
played
someday.
Call of
Yeah.
Duty that few times over the winter,
Yeah.
me, you, and it was Hank, right?
It was Hank and then Justy.
Yeah, and then the ringer.
Yeah.
I had a random girl or maybe two DMing me nudes after that.
Yeah. My community gets fucking nutty.
Yeah, it does. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
How were they?
Excellent.
Yeah. No,
Wait,
they're-
why? What did she say? What was her? She was just like,
Oh, I didn't respond.
Send these
I
to
didn't
Rudy.
respond.
Yeah.
No. Well, what was
Sure
it like?
thing.
If we win, then we get tits or something.
Yeah, you don't even have to like. I mean, I'd never be like you. Like,
Yeah,
it's
of course not.
completely like.
It's
they
it was up to
they
them.
Just,
They did
just
it.
do wild shit. Like in my Discord, there's 2 couples that have met and are like fully dating and are in love, like 2 full blown
What?
relationships.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild. I've only been on this Discord in this Twitch stream like maybe 10 total hours, and it was months and months ago. But we were like playing Call of Duty and we won a game or something, and I go to bed that night. I wake up and there's like tits all in my inbox, and I'm like, wait, those are the girls from the fucking from last night.
They're wild. It's gotten to the point now where like in my Discord, like I'll pop in and I'm like the least popular person there. Like they talk amongst themselves and they have their whole community, and I come in and I feel like a fucking loser.
How many people are in it?
It's a lot.
A lot, like thousands.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's great.
the Discord is cool. It's crazy. We have this shout
I
out
still
to
don't know what Discord is.
shout out to
because-
Phenom. Phenom's my mod. He like set up the whole Discord. He built one for Anus too. The Anus one is crazy.
Yeah.
I still don't even know what it.
I use
Discord is like a
all
new
the time.
it's like the newer version of Reddit basically.
Okay.
Oh,
It's just
really?
like it's just chat rooms.
So
you,
it's
can,
okay.
you can set up all these different rooms.
So it's like Internet 1.0.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kind
But
of a little bit.
it's,
Yeah.
It's just like a new version, like a refab of like chat rooms. Like there's all these different rooms. Like there's like I have like a pet one where like people just post their pets. There's like a main chat. There's one where like only the girls can be in there. Like just the girls chop it up. And then there's
Just
one,
the girls and Rudy.
There's one where like it's just counter numbers. It's called counter numbers, and people just go in there and they just do a count of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they get up to like a billion numbers, and then I'll jump in there and fuck the whole thing up. And so it's just like a bunch of like
it's a ton of randoms.
I can't really. I'm
I
probably
would-
doing a bad job because I don't get it completely.
I don't understand it, and I've used Discord since
Oh,
2020.
I've seen this clip.
Oh yeah, that was my first
The
stream.
gimp suit.
Yeah.
There it is.
That was before I knew that there wasn't any mouth hole. I had to cut a
How
mouth
much
hole.
is that thing?
It was only like $40 on Amazon. Very affordable. Very affordable. I might have to actually get a better one.
I feel like a lot of people in your Discord too, and I could be way wrong here. Like they weren't even Barstool fans. It didn't seem like it. Just seemed like they stumbled upon it and
Yeah. They're definitely like they're aware of Barstool, but
yeah,
they-
of course.
I just don't think that they want to be like
I don't think they're
they found
stoolies per se.
Yeah, they found like the coolest thing about streaming is just like the community. Like I know these. I don't know them personally, but like I know their usernames. Like people talk about their lives, and it's like a very connected sort of thing. And that's like
I've
the
made a
coolest
handful
part.
of friends on Discord and Twitter that I'm like real life friends with now.
Yeah,
Gary
Or not
Sheffield
Twitter,
Jr.
Twitch.
yeah, it's pretty crazy, dude. It's like it's just like a very connected world.
Are you, not to blow up your spot, but are you doing pretty well off it?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Like
Good.
it's way more successful than I ever thought it would be.
Good,
I just
dude.
did it because I was a big fan of it and I was like passionate about it, and I was like, I think I can try this. I needed something to like pour my creative energy into that wasn't, like attached to anything. Like I bought all the equipment myself. It's weird now because I'm moving. Like I can't do it. I've never taken a break more than a week doing it. So now I'm like in this sort of like in between thing, and like a bunch of other people at Barstool got into it. Like Gia started streaming, and then
What do you-
now Maresh is streaming. Like people are
Oh,
getting.
I was
like-
watching Maresh stream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
His chat, like we basically like, because we're homies and we did a bunch of stuff together, and now he's streaming. Like basically he's like keeping my crew
All
like
right,
occupied.
What is Maresh streaming?
He's doing a lot of different shit. He's been playing this game called like Jackbox games, and I don't even know what the fuck those are.
But it's
like,
always built around some kind of game.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
and the coolest thing about Twitch is you can do whatever the fuck you
Yeah.
want. Like, you can, like, if you're like a gamer and you just want to game, you can go on there and game. If you want to just like react to YouTube videos, like, or like get into the Barstool world, like, you can just watch. I mean, this is a live stream. It's sort of similar. Like, you kind of just
Yeah.
chop it up or do whatever, but you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like, when I started, I was always doing like hijinks. I was just being
Wearing
like,
gimp suits.
if I do this and this doesn't happen, then I got to do this, and then. It's always sort of evolving, and then you get sort of opened up to this whole world of Steam is like an online marketplace for buying games. It's like the Amazon of games, and then you realize that like when you first get going with playing video games, you think of like the Halos and like Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto, like all the big ones. You think those are the only ones, but then you get on Steam and there's like an ocean of just wild, weird games. Like, and Nick honestly was a huge help. because like when Nick brought me on Anus, he's got some wild, weird interests, and I was plugged into the video game world, but he had some crazy ones. So he always
he's like a game designer. and
yeah,
shit.
he like put me onto games that I'd never had heard of before. Like he put me onto this like Japanese dating simulator that is like disguised as a Japanese dating simulator, but then turns into this like incredibly like psychological thriller game that like breaks the fourth wall. There's just so many fucking games, and you can just do things forever.
I don't like the sound of that.
It fucked me. It fucked
I
me
bet.
up.
Yeah.
No, that game is called Doki Doki Literature Club, and basically you go through this. It's like almost like a visual novel. It's like mostly reading, but then all of a sudden, like all these girls in this literature club like kind of get involved with you, but then like they all have these like psychological problems, and then this one girl basically like cannibalizes the rest of them, and then it breaks the fourth wall, and the game has like code written into it where it knows if you're streaming. So at the very end, this girl is like orchestrated all these other girls getting killed, and you're sort of just a victim in it. It's sort of like Midsummer, you know, in like Midsummer with Ari Aster, where like he's like a part of this cult basically. He doesn't even know what's happening, and then he gets lit on fire in a bear costume.
Sounds kind of solid.
But then the game
Dude,
looks at like at one point the game goes, I know you're recording this right now, and I was like, what?
It sounds like fucking Black Mirror.
It was like it
yeah.
really was like real life Black Mirror, and then it was like, I know you're streaming right now. Say hi to chat for me. And the chat was like, it was just really cool. So there's like a million games that you've never heard of that are like super creative and like all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I played this one.
Does sound like something that I would hate. Sounds like something you would like.
You just start
Yeah,
doing it, and
storyline.
like even if the games are kind of shitty, like that becomes part of the fun. Like
That's exactly it.
Yeah,
Like,
I was talking about that game specifically for Ed.
What's that scary game that Glennie used to play, and they're making a movie about it?
Oh, I don't know.
It's wildly popular.
Was it Red Dead Redemption?
It was like a abandoned Chuck E. Cheese type deal.
Oh, it's like a I can't remember what it's called. It's like a
Fuck.
bear game. I know people
Yes.
play it a ton. It's like a stuffed animal
Freddy,
bear.
something
Freddy, yeah. I've been wanting to play that for a while.
Five
But-
Nights with Freddy or something?
Yeah, and they have like all these like new iterations that they drop, and like all these different chapters. It's like sort of like a running series. So there's just so many games, and the indie ones, like the lower budget ones, a lot of the time have like a lot more character, and so they're super fun. Like I played one the other day for 4th of July. I tried to find like all these like American type games, and I found one which was called Obama Boss Fight. And it's just like fighting Obama and like all these different crazy. It was an awful game, but it was funny because there's like something like there's people out there that have just made games for everything.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
That's sweet.
Would you play an Obama fight game?
Sure. I would give anything a chance. Like that's the one thing I discovered over the pandemic is like this whole world is like I thought video games ceased to exist after I was out of college, and
Glennie would get so scared, dude.
dude, some of these games are legit scary. I was watching Glennie's stream. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like jump scares and everything.
Yeah, no, they're really fucking scary.
Yeah, are those like the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics?
Yeah, like that's what it felt like. And there's a movie coming out.
Oh, I played this game Outlast. Yeah,
Wild.
there's cock in this game, so be careful.
Really?
Yeah, they probably won't show it in this though.
You can't broadcast the cock?
You can, actually, the weird thing is that like Twitch is pretty strict about like nudity and everything, but weirdly, if there's a cock in a video game, it's like considered fine. because it's-
Cartoon cock?
cartoon cock's fine.
Really?
Yeah.
I would say cartoon cock's fine.
Do you remember the Duke Nukem? You might be too young for
Oh, I
this.
know Duke Nukem. Yeah.
There was a part in the game where it was in a stadium, I believe, when you were playing multiplayer, and there was nudie pics on the stall wall of some chick. They were actual real. They weren't like video game. They were like real.
The real boobies.
Duke Nukem.
Fuck
Nice.
yeah, dude.
That game
I
was
might,
sweet.
I might have to. Duke Nukem was cool.
Dude, I do this about once a year. We'll be talking video game nostalgia, and I'll look up what it costs to buy an N64. I remember when my parents bought N64. We got it for Christmas one year. It was $120 new.
Yeah.
It's over that now. It's
Oh
crazy.
yeah. No, I mean they're hard to
Antique.
grab. But what you can do now, this is nerd talk, sorry, but like what you can do now is get this thing called an emulator, and it's like a program where you can use like your current system, and then you can emulate old school games like
Okay.
Mario Kart and shit like that.
Dude, I just bought that. I was saying I bought this N64 game that it has every single game on it. loaded onto it. You know what I mean?
Oh, Nick has one.
Yes.
I can't remember what
pretty
it's
sick.
called. It looks like a GameCube, right?
Yes.
Or like a Game Boy.
Yeah. Yes, but it's basically like
Yeah.
I just put it in the system and I have everything.
It's like a Chinese made
Yes.
thing where you just it's almost like back in the day when they used to jailbreak iPhones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It was pretty. It's
Nick
pretty
has
sick.
one. They're pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Do you remember jailbreaking?
Yeah.
Just so you could get like a different background on your phone.
Oh yeah. Or
It
get,
gave
like,
you
a
almost nothing unless you were like dark web boy.
certain ringtone or something.
Yeah.
I remember that. That was wild. All right then,
Cool.
Rudy. Thank you for jumping on with us, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for
that was
having
fun.
me,
Glad
guys.
you're here.
Welcome to Chicago, Rudy.
Great to have you.
Stoked.
I want to talk to you a little bit more about this streaming biz.
Of course, bro.
Perfect
on
time
the
to have it.
side.
Let's have a one-on-one right now. Just kidding.
I'm down.
No, more for fall.
All right.
Yeah.
All right then, Rudy. Thank you. Thank you everybody for watching. That's it for today.
Thank
We'll
you
be
guys for
back
having
on
me.
Thursday. We will see you guys then.